Welcome to an inspiring journey through the life of Alex, a young man who faces incredible challenges, from battling addiction to overcoming fears. This story is not just about his struggles. It's a powerful testament to the strength of friendship, resilience, and hope. As you listen to Alex's journey, remember that storytelling is one of the best ways to improve your English. It allows you to immerse yourself in language, emotions, and experiences. Each word you hear will help you expand your vocabulary and enhance your understanding of the language. Join us as we explore how Alex transforms his life and inspires others, showing that no matter how dark the path may seem, there is always a way to find the light. Get ready to be motivated, uplifted, and encouraged to face your own challenges with courage and determination. Let's dive in. From darkness to light. My name is Alex. I am 25 years old. This is my life story, a story of failure and success. It is a story about my struggles with drugs, alcohol, and finding my way back to the light. But most importantly, it is about my relationship with my mother, who stood by me when I lost my way. I grew up in a small town called Maplewood. My childhood was filled with laughter and love, especially from my mother, Sarah. She was my rock, working tirelessly as a waitress at the local diner and cleaning houses in the evenings. My father left us when I was just 5 years old. I have faint memories of him, a tall man with dark hair who used to lift me high in the air. But those memories faded, and my mother became both my mother and father. She was tired, often coming home late, but she always managed to smile when I greeted her. She believed in me and wanted the best for my future. As I entered my teenage years, I started hanging out with a group of friends who introduced me to drugs. Their names were Jake, Sam, and Lily. Jake was the wild one, always looking for the next thrill. Sam was more laid back but eager to fit in, while Lily was the one with the quick wit, making us laugh even in our darkest moments. At first, it was just marijuana. I thought it was fun and harmless. We would laugh, play video games, and sneak out to the local park to smoke under the stars. But soon, things changed. One day, Jake brought home a small bag of pills and said, "Try this. You'll feel amazing." I was hesitant but curious. When I took the first pill, it felt like a rush. All my worries disappeared and I felt happy. I was on top of the world, but that happiness was temporary. Soon, I needed more to feel the same way. I began to steal money from my mother to buy drugs. I felt guilty, but the addiction was stronger than my love for her. My grades dropped in school. I stopped playing basketball, which was my favorite sport. I used to dream of playing for the school team, wearing the jersey, and hearing the crowd cheer for me. But soon, I chose drugs over dreams. I spent more time with my friends, lost in a world of drugs and alcohol. I started drinking heavily too, thinking it made me cooler. We would sneak alcohol from our parents' liquor cabinets and throw wild parties at Jake's house when his parents were away. The nights were filled with loud music, laughter, and reckless behavior. But with the fun came consequences. One night, after a particularly wild party, we were driving home, and I lost control of the car. We crashed into a tree. I woke up in the hospital, bruised and scared. My friends were okay, but I was terrified. I faced the reality that my actions could hurt the people I cared about. I remember my mother visiting me in the hospital, tears streaming down her face. "Alex, please, you need help," she said, her voice shaking. But I was angry and scared. I didn't want to hear it. I yelled at her and turned away. That night, I realized I was losing her, but I didn't know how to stop. Days turned into weeks, and I hit rock bottom. I lost my job at the grocery store and most of my friends. The only people left were those who wanted to get high. I felt alone and ashamed. I looked in the mirror one day and hardly recognized myself. My skin was pale, my eyes sunken. I was a shadow of the person I used to be. I wanted to change, but the drugs had a hold on me. One afternoon, I returned home high and drunk. My mother was waiting for me. She looked worn out, her eyes red from crying. I could see the pain in her eyes, and for the first time, I understood how my addiction affected her. "Alex, you can't keep doing this," she pleaded. I realized then that I needed to change, not just for myself, but for her too. That night, we talked about my addiction. She helped me find a rehabilitation program, but I was scared. The thought of quitting drugs was terrifying. I had no idea how I would handle the withdrawal symptoms. I broke down and cried. "I'm sorry, Mom. I don't want to live like this anymore," I said, and she hugged me tightly. The first few days in rehab were tough. I faced withdrawal symptoms, sweating and shaking. There were times when I wanted to give up, but every time I felt weak, I remembered my mother's love. I wanted to be the son she deserved. I learned about the reasons behind my addiction. I met others who were struggling like me, and we shared our stories. It was comforting to know I was not alone. In rehab, I made a close friend named Mark. He had a similar story and was trying to fight his addiction too. We encouraged each other to keep going. One night, we talked late into the night about our dreams. I want to go back to school to be someone who could help others. I wanted to make my mother proud. Mark wanted to be a musician, to inspire people with his songs. After 3 months in rehab, I graduated from the program. My mother was there, tears of joy in her eyes. "I'm so proud of you, Alex," she said, hugging me tightly. I felt like I was finally free, but rebuilding my life was not easy. I found a new job at a local coffee shop and started playing basketball again. The first time I shot hoops, I felt a rush of joy. I also started volunteering at a community center, helping young people who face similar struggles. I wanted to give back and show them that change is possible. However, there were challenges. One day, while I was working at the coffee shop, I saw Jake walk in. He looked different, worn out and desperate. He tried to talk to me, but I felt a wave of anger. He was part of my past, a reminder of my struggles. I told him I was done with that life, and he laughed. "You'll be back. You can't escape it." His words haunted me. Sometimes I faced the temptation to use drugs again. The urge would creep in during tough times, especially when I felt stressed or overwhelmed. I called my mother whenever I felt weak, and she reminded me how far I had come. She would say, "Alex, remember the beach? Remember who you are." One day, I decided to take a step further in my journey. I wanted to face my past head on. I reached out to the friends I had lost touch with. It was scary, but I wanted to share my story. I told them how I felt and how drugs took over my life. Some of them listened, and I hoped they would see that there's a way out. I also started attending support groups. Listening to others share their stories helped me heal even more. I learned that recovery is not just about stopping drugs. It's about rebuilding a life filled with purpose and love. Through all the ups and downs, my mother was always there for me. One day, I asked her, "Mom, why did you never give up on me?" She smiled and said, "Because I knew you had the strength to overcome this. You just needed to believe in yourself. Like I believe in you." Her words motivated me every day. I realized that my journey from darkness to light was not just about me, but also about the love we shared. I wanted to be a better person, not just for myself, but for her. As I worked hard to rebuild my life, I started attending college classes at night. I was excited to study psychology and learn how to help others. I felt a sense of purpose. But just as I was starting to find my footing, danger struck. One night, as I was leaving class, I was confronted by Jake and some of his friends. "What are you doing here, Alex?" Jake sneered. "You think you're better than us now." I felt my heart race. I knew they were still using drugs, and the tension in the air was thick. I tried to walk away, but they blocked my path. "Come on, just have some fun with us," one of his friends said, waving a small bag of pills in front of me. I felt the temptation rising, the familiar urge to escape. But then I thought of my mother, of how far I had come. "No, I'm done with that life," I said firmly. Jake stepped closer, his eyes narrowing. "You think you can just walk away? You're one of us, Alex." I could see anger in his eyes, and I felt fear creeping in. But I stood my ground. "I'm not going back. I want better for myself." As I turned to leave, I heard them laughing behind me. "You'll be back," Jake shouted. I felt a mix of fear and anger. I was scared of what they might do, but I was determined not to let them drag me back into their world. After that encounter, I confided in my mother about what happened. She hugged me tightly and said, "You are stronger than them, Alex. Remember, you have come so far." Her support gave me the strength to continue my journey. Life lessons and reflections. 1. Courage to face fears. Sometimes, the hardest battles we fight are within ourselves. Summoning the courage to face our fears can lead to unexpected growth and empowerment. 2. The power of friendship. Surrounding ourselves with supportive friends can make all the difference in overcoming obstacles. True friends lift you up, encourage you, and remind you that you're never alone in your struggles. 3. Resilience. Life is filled with challenges, but resilience is about rising each time we fall. Embracing setbacks as opportunities for growth can help us become stronger. 4. Finding your voice. Sharing our experiences can be a powerful way to connect with others and inspire change. Your story matters, and it can offer hope to someone else who might be struggling. 5. Embracing new beginnings. No matter how dark the past may seem, new beginnings are always possible. Life is a journey, and every step taken toward healing and self-discovery leads to a brighter future. As I reflected on these lessons, I realized that the journey was ongoing. Life would continue to throw challenges my way. But now, I felt a